Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. We're back for some more racing on Le Mans Ultimate with 2 hours coming up around Interlagos, once again in GT3s for the third time now. Getting quite used to this. We've already done a 90-minute race, 1 hour race, so that's 10.5 hours total so far, and we're going to add another 2 hours to make it 4.5 hours by this evening. And then afterwards, after this stream, we've got another one coming up with a 2.4 hour race on ACC at the Nürburgring. Well, can switch on over now. Welcome, welcome. Although it appears my LMU has just frozen. Yeah, I was just transitioning to qualifying. You can see it is very close in the practice times, by 61,000 separating second to fifth, then 6th to 8th or so, where it was like within a 10th as well. So yeah, very extremely close here in there in practice. Let's see if it will be just as close for the race in qualifying here before we get to the race. So we'll just wait a minute here. For everyone to head out for qualifying. We're not in any time rush here. We just want to make sure we get some clean air. BMW's letting me through. That's a little bit awkward. When they had this slide, I was like, oh, maybe I can get past here. Anyway, we're here at Interlagos. I don't think there's any chance of rain for this race, which is a bit of a shame. I'd love to have a wet race. Tomorrow there is a chance of a wet race, but we'll talk about that a little later. But it's certainly clouded over. Track does seem to be at a sort of a cool 22 degrees, matching the ambient. Presumably since there is no sun. So we've got just under 12 minutes left. And we've got 7 laps of fuel. The stint I did in practice was 10 or 12 laps? Can't remember exactly. But my fastest lap from that stint was right at the end on the final lap. Though understeer was becoming a bit more prevalent, especially through some left-handers, such as what is effectively the final corner here. We have found a lovely bit of track position just for ourselves. And now with the tires somewhat up to temperature, we can begin to push. You can see the tires still cold with the car sort of squirming around through the first few corners. You can see a couple of people have really gone for it on their opening lap. But most people taking it a little bit easier. Just waiting a bit longer as they bring the tires up to temperature. These tires certainly still a bit cooled. We can see we're still finding some time. Snap of oversteer through the effective final corner, which is annoying as it ruins our run all the way up the hill here. We were sort of set to be within like a 10th of pole position, I'd say, but instead we're going to be a few tenths off. Like that, 4 tenths in the first sector, nearly 4.5. As we get down to turn 4. Rear of the car still wanted to step out. Seems to be a bit of a balance shift as we've taken fuel out of the car. From sort of a race practice. Thought I was going to validate the lap there for a moment. Better exit out of the effective final corner, though definitely could have been better. That's being a little bit wide. We'll get ourselves back up to P2. Little too late on the brakes, I'd say, into T1. But I managed to get the car turned in just about. Somehow I didn't have our lap invalidated from running wide on the exit of T2. And we're just matching our deltas so far. This lap, big slide on the tyre. Through turns 6 and 7. First signs of understeer through the long left-hander there. Good launch out of that final corner. You can see the time that we're gaining. We were pretty much equal on our delta through the apex. Now we're going to be 10th and a half up. Still holds us in second. But will help us to hold on to second. That's quite wide there. Lost a bit of time though, and as such, the game won't invalidate our lap quite generously. Lost a bit of time through that right-hander. Didn't get the best exit out of the final corner either. It's definitely dropped a bit of time in the second half of the lap. We're still going to gain a 10th. 2 more laps of fuel. Better exit out of turn 2 to carry down all the way to turn 4. That was an odd place to try and park to let someone through. So we'll have one more lap on fuel. Currently sitting in P2, 3 and a bit tenths off the pole time at the moment, but holding on by 4 thousandths to P3. Practically matching our Sector 1 time. little bit of understeer through 6 and 7. Means that we're a 10th down now. Find every time I can get on this final lap. Won't be enough to improve, was very close to improving. Definitely had potential in the sectors. But in the end, we'll drop down to P3. With half a second margin to P4 back. Quite the gap. So it's certainly not as close here in qualifying as it was in practice. But maybe things will get a little bit closer again when we get to the race. Who knows what will happen? Now, sort of as usual, I don't really have a strategy ready for the race. We are just going to wing it. Winging the strategy? Yes, we are indeed, Geeky. Because strategy over 2 hours, a little bit too complicated. Yeah, I don't know what the exact feel is going to be at the end of... or the exact tire life will be at the end of one stint. So, starting P3, hopefully we can have a safe start. Nice to have 3 different manufacturers in the top 3. Shame we don't have a McLaren up here. Haas McLaren 17th, which is quite far back. Because we're on an uphill here, you have to hold the brakes on the start, otherwise you will roll back.
Formation lap has started.
Ready for the start here.
Green flag, green flag.
And away we go. A BMW behind's got a really good launch. BMW in front being really cautious. Big wheel bang between us and the Ferrari. Yeah, BMW might lose the lead here. It's being challenged by the Ferrari that started in P2. Ferrari holds it the whole way around the outside. Very early on the brakes there for 5 and 6. Now again, in front of the BMW, the Ferrari behind is trying to follow us through, but isn't quite able to. Not yet, at least. BMW then decided to get aggressive on the brakes into the effective final corner. Wasn't a great idea from them, as it's certainly compromised their exit and caused them to drop further back. The Ferrari behind is having a go for P3 once again. Closed up on the Ferrari a bit in front for the lead through the first sector, and the Ferrari behind has got the move done on the BMW. So from first to fourth for that BMW, it's not been a good opening lap for them. Let's see where pace is like compared to the Ferrari in front of us. Ferrari definitely earlier on the brakes into turn 6 and 7 here. Ferrari opening up the gap slightly in the second half of the lap. Don't know if we'll be getting any slipstream here. I think we're getting a little bit. Twitch from the Ferrari through T1. Slightly compromised it through turns 2 and 3 again. And we're certainly in slipstream range here. Not close enough to make a move. Certainly close enough to put the Ferrari under pressure. The Ferrari that got to third has disappeared from the top left. Didn't see what happened to them, but they have certainly dropped back at least. That's given the pole sitter back up to the podium places. They're 2.5 seconds behind us. Closer this time. I think we got a better exit than the Ferrari too. Just using more of the track width on the exit. Close enough in the slipstream here. Fry's going to defend the inside as much as they can. Fry's getting real aggressive. This fighting's allowing the BMW to come back into play. Certainly not as close this lap as we were last lap. Small track limit penalty there. Fry probably took one there too. A little bit closer than we were last lap. BMW behind is closing up again though and has taken the fastest lap on the previous lap. I was going to try and cut back to the inside of the Ferrari. No, this is just a one-off. 1.2 seconds a lap. Yeah, that's a lot of time we're going to be losing over the course of this stint. If I wasn't just winging the strategy, I'd be trying to figure out when I could pit without the earliest point I could pit without making an extra pit stop this race, but yeah, I don't know what the strategy is. Looks like the car behind made a mistake, as it was like a 3 or 4 second gap behind. Now it's nearly 9 seconds. The nice thing about how the car is damaged, is it's kind of wanting to turn left. And since this track is anti-clockwise, there's a lot of left-handers. And I think it's just meaning that the tyre wear of the car, like the front right tyre, isn't being scrubbed as much. And that the left-hander at the end of the middle sector, you know, the car can take it easy flat out, whereas before it was needing a little bit of a lift. I think the damage there saved me from getting a track limit point. Because the car was slow enough that the game was like, oh, you didn't gain time, so there's no need to give you a point. One of the fries behind already pitting. There goes the rear end. Yeah, that's by another 8 seconds. Would have been nice not to have lost. Yeah, the balance of the car is definitely rear limited now. Rather, when it was front limited. When it's normally front limited around here. Which is odd, considering we had a front end impact. I've only tried wheel. I generally haven't tried any sim games on controller. And I probably won't be trying this game on controller, because to get the thumbnail shots I had to rebind controls, and that meant unbinding the controls used for racing. still trying to figure out what the strategy will be from here. We're not even halfway through this stint. There's 17 laps left. Which means it's about 30 laps stint. Maybe if you're fuel saving, you can make it on one stop. I think if you're pushing flat out, I think you'll be just a bit short, and that you'll have to make a splash and dash. This is going to be a little bit awkward with the McLaren because, like, theoretically I should have passed it on the straight here. But I've so much damage that even with the slipstream I wasn't gaining on it. Thankfully they let us through in the braking zone for T1. Was a little bit messy with the damage and the car sliding around from it. And you can see the effects of the damage on the tyre wear. Despite this being an anti-clockwise circuit with predominantly left-handers, the left-hand side tyres are more worn. And a little earlier on in the race, the front right tyre had 1% more, 1% more tyre life. So it was sitting at like 83, when the rear right was sitting at 82, suggesting that the rear tyres were wearing quicker than the fronts. But now it's flipped the other way round. I'm also thinking I don't change tyres at the next pit stop. since the tower hasn't been too bad from the damage and it's been a shorter stint. So yeah, we'll hit at the end of this lap. Just remembered I have to request the pit stop since I'm pitting early and not just pitting when I'm running out of fuel. So here we go. Power damage, full fuel and energy, but no tires. Damage 80 seconds. Yeah. Damage repair is rough on here. Should put the car in neutral. Wait, I just noticed the rear left says new medium. Oh, great. Now the tires are going to be out of whack. Cost us an extra 5 seconds, and yeah, it's probably going to hurt the balance of the car. That was so sketchy. Yeah, you can see that rear left down at 30 degrees. Every other tire's up at 70. But you get very easy through here. Very easy. Can be easy enough to spin out of that corner when the car's in good condition. Than when you have a rear left tire that's just much colder than anything else. Yeah, I'd say we lost 7 seconds from taking that new tire. Anyway, yeah, most of the field doesn't seem like they're too quick. So I'd say there's still maybe the potential of a podium place here. But it's still a little bit unlikely. Of course, the car being heavy with fuel once again, and still having worn tyres on the most part, means it won't quite be as quick as we were at the start of the race. McLaren into the pits. I'll give us our first position back, up to P13. Looks like the sun is coming out a bit. I just hope cars don't like hold us up that we're trying to unlap ourselves from. Also just noticed a lot of the drivers here seem to have pitted on lap 2. There is one car directly in front of us in 8th place overall that isn't appearing on the race labs relative annoyingly. That's rough. Someone's personal best is a 41.8. Looks like there's a good fight for 5th place. About 10 seconds up the road. Should get an easy slipstream pass here. Nearly cut across my bumper there, the Ferrari. I mean, yes, it's nicer to have the inside when you're trying to pass a car up towards the start finish, you know, that shorter distance just helps you get in front. Especially when you're trying to make the pass so early on and you've had so little slipstream. I will say, I just noticed, after passing the Ferrari, the game didn't give me a blue flag until the end of the lap there, whereas on other games like ACC, you know, you'd be getting a blue flag the entire time you're trying to pull away from the car you've just unlapped yourself from. But it seems like LMU actually recognises, hang on, you know, you're quicker. And thus, you know, you don't really need to be blue flagged. Starting to catch up to the first car that we're going to have to pass for position here. Should be starting to see some cars coming into the pits over the next 5-ish laps, I would say. Quite a few cars in front of us. If we got back past, we'd be quite handy. The Ferrari that's still on the lead lap is actually backing this Chevy towards us. But annoyingly, he's also giving the Chevy slipstream. Looks like, yep, Chevy's coming into pit lane. Handy enough. That's one less car that we have to overtake. Ferrari's fuel saving. That's why they're slow. You can see just how we close up going into the corners. Gotta get down the inside there. Next car is 9 seconds up the road for position. But we again have some cars to unlap ourselves from, and even one car to lap before we get there. as the track is getting darker once again. Easy move here is the McLaren messes up their line through first few corners. BMW in front of us made a mistake last lap, I'm pretty sure, or just let the cars that are lapping them past. 40.9 last lap. Love cars in pit lane this time round. .41 from the BMW last lap. Very odd from BMW. I almost thought they were letting us through there, but I think they were just being slow. Hard to tell. Either way, we're through. See the difference in tire wear now between the front and rears on the right hand side. 10% now. when it was just a mere 1% when we came into the pits. Get past a few cars that are coming through pit lane. That Ferrari's fuel save strat is probably going to work out quite well for them. I don't think they'll win the race with it. I think the other BMW has a bit too much pace for that. But they'll probably get a podium. Very well could get a podium. Getting past a few more cars that are in pit lane. And we're up to P7 at the moment. But of course, we have a full pit stop to take. And we'll be changing all 4 tires. And filling up to a full tank of fuel and energy. Welcome, Cora. Nearly halfway through our first race of today. Now the Ferrari that was fuel saving is into the pits. They didn't quite make it to the halfway mark, so they're gonna have to save a bit more fuel this stint, or they're gonna have to... That's interesting. Or they're gonna have to make a splash and dash, which would certainly ruin their strategy. They lost a lot of time and positions last stint, trying to make it far enough. sudden coming back out. I thought that McLaren was going to come into the pits with how they were keeping hard left. A little less. Again, front on the brakes for T1. One of the cars in front, the car in P3, showing some pace after coming out of the pits, setting a new personal best of it, 36.1. Not too far off our personal best. But means it might not be as easy to catch up to the cars in front as I thought it would be. I was reading during the pit stop in the Discord, apparently there was some shenanigans on lap 1 further down the field. They'd seen quite a few cars had made pit stops in the early laps of the race, so they might have had to have repaired damage. Did mention how one car disappeared that was up in, yeah, the Ferrari that got up to third disappeared from the standings. In the early laps. Car definitely getting more understeery now as the front tires continue to wear. Line through the first couple of corners. I think we could pit soon and make it to the end of the race. Which I might do just to get on new tyres before these tyres drop off a cliff. Give it a few more laps. Probably 3 more laps. I think I've heard it's sort of between 20 and 30% for when the tires really start to drop off. But I've never gone that far on a set of tires myself to find out. one more lap. So we will pit at the end of this lap. Should give us about 46 minutes remaining for our final stint. All new tires, fill fuel. I keep forgetting I have to clutch to not stall the engine. "42-second stop." Okay, I've pit lane, a little bit of a gap here. As we now have to get the tires up to temperature. So we can see third place isn't far in front of us. Of course, being a lap in front, they are most likely going to have to pit again for a splash and dash, which probably will be 30 seconds quicker, I want to say, than the pit stop that we just had. So really we need to pass these cars and make a 30-second gap, I would say, if we want to finish in front of them by the end of the race. 2/10 up on our personal best, but I think we had a bit of slipstream. Yeah, so we're going to lose a little bit of time. Yeah, new personal best, 35.6. Getting past a lapped car. BMW's going to let us go. Greatly appreciated. See if we can go chase down the podium positions to unlap ourselves. Rear end sliding around an awful lot there. Slow laps from all three of us last time. 39.5, 30 at 4. That's good news. That means even though we got held up a little bit by the car that was spun, it hasn't cost us time to those that we're trying to catch up to. Something that would annoy me when we get to the end of this race is if we're like 6 seconds or less off of making another position, then if we didn't have that tire change at our first pit stop, we might have got that extra position. Hopefully that won't be the case, but you just never know. practically matching our personal best that lap, which is good. Purple sector 1, that's nice. Going to be a new personal best here. Is actually purple. So fastest lap of the race so far. Annoyingly, we're about to come up on the battle for second. And the fact that it's a battle for second means that we could potentially lose more time here than I would like to. Yeah, so we gained 2 seconds on them. I wonder if the BMW is trying to massively fuel save. Well, we'll soon find out. There we go. That's how you race cleanly wheel to wheel through first couple of corners. But BMW there wasn't fuel saving. So they're just slow. And they thus have the place here into turn 6 and continue on their defence for P2. Of course, we did lose about a second there, passing them two, but it could have been a lot worse. Less than half an hour to go now. Fastest final sector, apparently. So one of the cars that we're trying to chase down for position that I could see in the relative before we got up to the start-finish straight here is 20 laps into their stint. That means they can probably only go like 15 more laps, which I don't think is going to get them to the end of the race. So more evidence there of drivers needing to make a splash and dash. Speaking of, we do have a car, BMW, through the pits. Has come out about 4 seconds in front of us. I wish I was better at remembering names, because part of me's thinking, wait, is that the car I just unlapped myself from in P2? Or is that someone else that I'd already unlapped myself from? Either way, they're stuck behind that lap to McLaren for the meantime. Yeah, looking at the time, their last lap time, 3:01. That's like a 1:25-second loss. And that doesn't include the time that they lost slowing down for pit lane that's before the start-finish line. So add on like another 5 seconds for that as they try and go for a dive to the inside from the McLaren. But the McLaren's not letting them through, and they've tagged the McLaren, spun themselves round. And that was a bit clumsy. Gonna get down the inside for the McLaren. That seems really cheeky, given what just transpired with the BMW. But yeah, I think that was the second place BMW that's now pitted for fresh tyres and fuel. Certainly helped to get those tyres up to temperature with that spin, even if that's not really how you're meant to warm tyres up. Well, electronics, I assume you mean the assists. You can see there, they're just the default in the CDA setup. I don't usually mess around with them too much and more just adapt to what they come with from default. Just because I don't have a great understanding of how they work and how I need to change them to really get the most out of them. So instead of changing them and potentially having worse settings, I just leave them as they are. Because generally they're not too bad, as you would expect. I've just noticed the rear brakes are hitting 1,000 degrees. I don't think that's a good thing. You can see the rear brake temperature either in the bottom left on the MFD or on the dash, the sort of grey numbers. They get down to nearly 600 degrees before we start braking for T1 again. Yeah, 1100 degrees there on the rear right as we enter T4. Now, what would be nice is to be able to catch up to P7 and 6 and pass them for position before they make a pit stop for splash and dash. Oh, the BMW behind's DNF'd. Don't know what happened to them. But yeah, they've DNF'd, and we've now just lapped what will be P9 once the Ferrari finishes this lap to pass the BMW. Looks like the BMW binned it at turn 6 and 7 there, judging by when the Ferrari ticked up into P9. I'm just thinking, glad this isn't proper long endurance race, as those rear brakes would be definitely in danger of failure. We can see in the relative the Ferrari that's in P5, Jerome, that is fuel saving like mad to try and avoid a pit stop. We've got 20 seconds to them, so it'll be interesting to see if we can catch them and if they can successfully fuel save to not pit by the end of the race. Though, to be honest, if we catch them and pass them, it probably doesn't make a difference whether they pit or not. Oh, well, depend. Other people will probably pit, so yeah, ignore me there. Still certainly plenty to race for Jerome, if they can feel safe to the end. I don't know, some cars for some reason just don't appear on the relative. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a Race Labs or a LMU issue. They'll appear on the relative here in game, but that's kind of pointless to me. Yeah, because that only gives me the distance or the time, which I can already see in the top left. Doesn't give me any information that I get on my own overlay with Race Labs. The replay automatically saves. Of course, we've got the ACC race coming up right after. So we won't have time to watch much of the replay, at least. We'll maybe watch the first lap to try and see what happened, but at that point then we'll probably have to switch over. We'll also be switching streams. So there's a new stream scheduled for 6:30. You won't see it on the channel, as we see that Ferrari in P7 coming into the pits. Oh, and we're side by side with the leader, trying to unlap ourselves as they come out after their splash and dash. I'm gonna presume I have newer tires than them, than the BMW, so I would like to stay in front. But if the BMW is quicker, then of course I will. I'm not gonna I'll let them through if they make an overtake. But I'm not gonna slow down to let them through. Definitely overfueled a bit. We have 12 laps of energy and only 11.5 minutes. That's a Ferrari off. Yeah, there is a lapped car between us and the car we're fighting for position with. Both of them Ferraris, confusingly. So we are coming up to lap this Ferrari, who is letting us through on the inside here, which is appreciated. We don't want to lose any more time to those that we're trying to catch up to, but also to the BMW behind. Because we don't want to let that BMW through. as letting the BMW through will only lose us time, and of course it'll leave us a lap down, which it'd be nice to finish on the lead lap. 10 minutes to go in the race. Just 2 seconds between us and the Ferrari in front. It'll be interesting to see how many cars pit here for a splash and dash. I can't imagine the Ferrari in front of us is going too much further, having already done 32 laps in their stint. You know, we've got like 6 laps left, and to save 6 laps of fuel is an awful lot. That was very little fuel save from the Ferrari. That's not going to get them to the end of the race, I'm pretty sure. There wasn't any fuel save there into T4. As we go round the outside. That was a little sketchy between the BMW and the Ferrari. And then hanging it round the outside. Ferrari, give us room. Left was quite respectful. But yeah, not much that they could do. I'm fairly certain they'll be pitting in a lap or two's time. Now the next Ferrari that we're chasing down, we've seen how much fuel saving that Ferrari was doing earlier in the race. The 66 in front of us. They also pitted 1 lap later than the Ferrari that we just passed. So it'll be interesting. The Ferrari in front of that has already done a splash and dash. You can see 4 laps there in the orange box. That means they pitted 4 laps ago on lap 65, as it says in the yellow box. Right behind, still pushing. And there they go into the pits. 5 minutes left. It's going to be tight with this Ferrari in front if they don't pit. Of course, if they do pit, we have the position easily, but if they don't, it's going to be tight. One car to lap before we catch P5. And that one car that we're lapping is a Ferrari. We're catching it just under 2 seconds a lap to P5. It is gonna be so tight. I think we have like 3 laps left and we have 6 seconds to catch, and catching 2 seconds a lap will catch them on at the end of the final lap, presumably. Welcome, Artie. Oh, understeer. Can't afford to lose time behind the lapped car here. S3 here, which is appreciated. That gap under 4 seconds, just about. We're guaranteed 2 extra laps, so we might even get a third if the leader doesn't slow down. But if the leader loses like a few seconds just by slowing up, then next lap will be the final lap. Ferrari and P4 had a really bad last lap. 39.2. We're not going to catch them unless they're going really slowly, as this will most likely be the final lap. Oh, the leader has like 5 seconds. The Ferrari in front will be begging the leader to slow down. And yeah, this Ferrari's practically going to let me through as they don't have the fuel. Yeah, they were fuel saving practically the entirety of that straight. It looks like the leader has given us one more lap. Which, if the Ferrari in front is having issues, might give us a chance at P4. I mean, surely this Ferrari isn't fuel saving as well. They only pitted 8 laps ago. Did they underfuel by a lap thinking the race was going to be a little bit shorter? Perhaps. But there we go, 1 lap to go. Two seconds to catch. And we gained 2.6 last lap. You can see the Ferrari behind waited for the leader to pass them, so they didn't have to do an extra lap. If they're low on fuel, they might have to lift before the line. They're hugging the inside. There's the line. Yeah, they'll hang on just about. Oh, that was close at the end. I said it, those 5 seconds from changing tyre in the first pit stop would be costly. Darn it. Yeah, without the being changed, having a tyre changed in that first pit stop, we would have had P4. Not only the 5 seconds lost from the tyre change, but then also like the second or two from having to deal with that cold tyre. I mean, that right-hander in the pit exit was so difficult with having that rear left just be stone cold and all the other tyres up to temperature. You know, turned into the right-hander, and yeah, the rear left was like, yeah, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. So we're gonna try and load the replay here. We're gonna have a quick look at lap 1, but then we will have to move over to the second to our ACC race, which, if you're wondering, the link for the ACC race I've just put in chat, and we'll pin that. going to pick a car. This car. A little further back in this pack. 3T1. Oh, looks... and yeah, there we go. Actually, picked the car that crashed. Let's have a quick look here. Chevy just straight into the side. Let's forward. Yeah, this Chevy just didn't have anywhere to go. Unfortunately, the people checking up. Well, not really checking up. And you can just see this Chevy's just trying to... Oh my... Just trying to drive in a straight line with... But they have to have left lock up on. And where is this BMW going? The BMW just slams them into the wall again for good measure. Oh my god, what have they done up here? The wrong way. Right, so this is the Chevy that initially took the BMW out. Got hit round from cars behind, got going again. It's like, yeah, you might as well, otherwise there'll just be a car parked there. And then McLaren on the left just doesn't give them any room, and thus gets turned into the wall. That's awful driving from them. Awful. Appalling standards. Yeah. Appalling. But yeah, that is going to do it for yeah, that's going to do it for this stream. We're going to hop on over to the stream I've got pinned. Just give me a couple of minutes to switch games and make sure everything is set up for it. But yeah, we'll be back very soon, and we'll be getting straight into qualifying for the 2.4 hour Nürburgring race. So, back soon.